Hey guys, today I wanted to talk to you about financing an electric bike. Now, obviously you can pay for an electric bike in a variety of different ways. You can use cash, credit card, check, you could potentially barter, I don't know, trade. But one of the things that comes up quite a bit in our shop, similar to a car or these days even a cell phone or electronics, is people finance. So we have a couple different options, and really a lot of different shops have options as well, but for our shop, we generally recommend two companies. So in the shop, we work with a company called Synchrony Bank, and they do a 12-month no-interest financing. And I say no interest, but really there is an interest. So like if you pay like within those 12 months, you don't pay any interest, but if you try to pay beyond that, you can kind of get yourself in some trouble, so just be mindful of that. And then we also have a company called Klarna, which is available on our website. And with that, you can do 12-month no interest in a similar sort of fashion. Just keep in mind, you always want to make sure you pay like within that 12 months because they take it pretty seriously. And I think some people get kind of caught in that mix and they end up paying a lot of interest. So Klarna also has an option to do 3 years at a 10% interest. So that's another cool option. But we also find that some people work with their own bank or credit union. And I found that you can usually even go to a credit union and do it something similar to purchasing a car. I think oftentimes they can think of it in somewhat of a similar way. And you could generally get a relatively low interest rate, sometimes just a couple percent. And the benefit of that is that you can generally span it over a longer period of time. So say you wanted to finance for 4 or 5 years or something like that. So really cool option and something to consider. We're going to put some of the links below for some of these different companies that you could potentially work with, but feel free to just reach out to us if you have any questions about that as well. But I think it's a good consideration because sometimes people feel limited by our budget. I mean, it is a big expense, and financing is available, and it makes other modes of transportation and things like that accessible to people. So why shouldn't that apply to electric bikes? I mean, really, in the future, what we do see is more things like leasing. At the moment, this is not so available in the US, but I do see that in the near future. And actually in Europe, it's quite popular and it makes things much more accessible. We plan to do a larger video in the near future about the economics of e-bike ownership overall, but I just wanted to put this video out just to give a little bit of insight as to how financing works and really to introduce people to the idea, because you might not necessarily consider it and you might feel limited by your specific budget at the moment, but maybe if you spread it out longer, you can buy a bike that's more reliable and might suit your needs a little bit better in the long term, which I'm certainly a big fan of. I really think that it's better to buy quality once as opposed to buying, junk and then just continually replacing it. So hope you found this video to be useful. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below or just reach out to us, and see you soon.